This image was shot during winter. It's bright, it feels cold, and technically everything looks fine. But it lacks one important thing: direction. This is the same image, but this time the direction is pretty obvious. So today I'm gonna show you how I approach the shot using simple but effective tools. This is our image of a beautiful waterfall in Iceland, and as you can see, that's a pretty common winter scene because we have many clouds and we have quite a lot of snow. And this is a problem because everything is bright but nothing really stands out, and so this way is really hard to understand where to look in this image. Obviously we need to fix that, but first we need to fix our exposure. So I'm gonna recover the highlights and the whites as well. Then I'm gonna recover some shadows and some blacks. Now I want to work on a cooler image because it fits best my vision. So I'm gonna lower the temperature to around 5000. And now I'm ready to start working on the light, our biggest problem right now. So the first mask I'm gonna create is a radial gradient to remove light from the areas that are not really important. So I'm gonna invert the mask, feather to +100, and look at this. That's the area where I want to focus the attention of the viewer, and that's also the area where the light is coming from. Obviously, I wanna remove light from around this area because I want to focus the attention here. I'm gonna reset the exposure, and I'm gonna take the whites, lower a little bit to -50, and even the exposure, and increase the blacks a little bit because I don't want to clip the darker tones. And as you can see now, the image is starting to achieve a clearer direction. So before and after. Now I'm gonna create a new mask for the foreground because it tends to be too bright. So I'm gonna take a linear, place it around here, then lower the exposure just a little bit, then I'm gonna increase the blacks, and as you can see before and after, now the foreground is a little bit darker. I'm gonna do the same for the sky, so new linear gradient, lower the exposure. Great, let's zoom in, and now let's see a before. Our image is really bright but without a clear direction, and after. Now I'm gonna start working on the light, so I'm gonna create a new radial gradient. Let's start with the smaller one. I'm gonna place it here. I'm gonna increase the blacks a little bit, the whites, and lower the clarity just a fraction to soften the contrast before and after. Now the cool part, 3 dots, duplicate mask 4. Gonna make it a little bit bigger, and look at this. I can increase the blacks just a fraction, lower the whites, and see before and after. Now again, duplicate mask 4 copy, make it a little bit bigger, and again duplicate a little bit bigger, and look at this. Now basically I've softened the contrast and increase the light around this area. And if we combine the previous masks with these last ones, you can see our before and after. It already looks like a totally different image. Quick break to let you know that if you'd like to take your post-processing to the next level, I've just launched my new coaching service. You send me your raw file and I'll show you how I would edit it step by step through a recorded video walkthrough explaining every single decision. If you want to learn more, you will find the link in the description down below. And now let's get back to the image. I want to increase the contrast in the sky. To do that, I'm gonna take a new radial gradient, or actually a new linear gradient. The first one, I'm gonna increase the contrast a little bit and lower the exposure just a fraction. Then I'm gonna create a new radial gradient and place it here. And this time I'm gonna increase the haze to bring out all the details of these clouds and create an even more dramatic image. I'm gonna increase even the clarity. That helps with the mid-tone contrast, and then I'm gonna increase the contrast even more by increasing the whites and lowering the blacks just a fraction. So let's see before and after. Now the sky is more three-dimensional. Great. And now I'm gonna start doing some dodge. First, radial gradient. I wanna dodge this area. To do that, I wanna do some work with the whites, very gentle, and with the blacks, very, very gentle. And now I wanna bring out all the details of the water on the rocks, etc. So this time I'm gonna use a brush, highlights, whites, even some clarity to bring out some nice details of all these rocks, water, etc. So as you can see, our image looks way better now. I can finish the image with some ortone effect. To do that, I'm gonna take a luminance range mask, select all the tones, and then lower the clarity a little bit. This way I'm softening all the details and contrast, some texture. Then I'm gonna bring back some detail by increasing the sharpness. And let's see a before and after. And I can start working on the contrast by increasing the highlights and the contrast itself just a fraction. Great. Now our image is still looking pretty flat, but the direction is pretty clear because my eye is going from here to here. Probably we can make it even more obvious by doing some more dodge around the foreground. So here and here. And now, tone curve, I'm gonna increase the black point just a fraction and increase the contrast by lowering the darker tones and increasing the brighter tones. And look at this. Yes, that's great. Before really flat and after really contrasty. Now I want to do some color grading because obviously this is a winter picture and I want it to look way colder. So I'm gonna take the shadows, I'm gonna pick a cool tone around 225, saturation to +100, so that's a great color. I'm gonna keep the saturation to around 20%. Then the midtones, same hue. I'm gonna increase the saturation quite a bit. And look at this, now the image feels very cold. So before and after. And now for the final adjustments, I'm gonna increase the luminance of the midtones just a little bit, come back to the tone curve, lower the darkened tones, and probably I can brighten the waterfall just a little bit. So new brush, highlights, and very gently I'm gonna brush over the waterfall. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is where we started and this is the final result. I hope this helped you look at winter photos in a slightly different way. As always, remember to stay focused and I'll see you in the next one.